The problem with atheism is that it's completely hollow and empty. There's no life to it. It's like someone puts a black hole in front of you and says that's life. There's no meaning to it, there's no purpose. You aren't here for a reason, you aren't special.
Oh, boo frickin' who. You sound like one of those kids who needs a participation trophy after their team gets last place. If you want to be special so damn badly, be special. Don't wait for someone to just hand it to you, much less someone who decides for you how you're gonna be special and who almost certainly doesn't exist. Let's do this.
Round 1, fight! Delusion!
Logic boo! Logic boo!
You win!
Greetings, fellow space travelers. BionicDance here. I get awfully tired of being told that God's existence makes us special because it gives us purpose. We're never told what that purpose is, just that he's got a plan for us. How do you know that plan will turn out well for you? What if your holy book is just propaganda to keep you from rebelling against the horrible fate that awaits you? I find it quite comforting to know that I have choices and am not beholden to someone else's will. I'd find it far more depressing to think my fate isn't my own to decide. Wouldn't you?
The universe is made up of Lego blocks, and what you can see is all that exists. It's completely empty and it's completely devoid of life.
Trees. Frickin' trees. Grass. That dude going by on the bike. If there's anything this world isn't, devoid of life tops the frickin' list, Scooter. No God required.
If I were an atheist, I'd be depressed, honestly. I don't know how people who are atheists aren't depressed about life.
You know when I, as an atheist, am depressed? When bad things happen, like getting dumped, or when my seasonal affective disorder gets triggered by it being overcast for too long, or getting dumped while my seasonal affective disorder is getting triggered by it being overcast for too long. There's a reason I left Seattle for Southern California. I can't imagine being depressed just because I'm not living in the fairy tale that religion provides. I mean, I honestly don't get it. I try to picture that being so horrible and can't do it. The closest I can come is knowing that I was born way too early to see interstellar travel ever become a reality, that I'll probably die before jetpacks, flying cars, and colonizing Mars. If anything is gonna depress me, it's that I'm gonna miss out on all of that. But not having some alleged undefined purpose in life foisted upon me by an invisible deity in whom I need to have faith to believe in him, her, it, or them, that's not depressing. As far as I'm concerned, that's normal, reasonable, rational, logical. I still consider myself a kid despite my age, but I'm not a child, if you see the difference.
So that's the biggest problem, it's completely empty. There's no substance to it, there's no meaning to it. There's no reason that we're even alive, if you're an atheist.
Oh, Poopsie. What reason do you have for being alive? Why do you need one so badly? Why isn't it enough to just make your own? Comparing your attitude to mine, one remarkable difference that strikes me is that atheists, are stronger people. We have to stand on our own 2 feet instead of relying on a celestial parent figure. And while there is definitely an absence of a God in my life, I don't feel as though I'm lacking something, if you see what I mean. I don't need a God, and not having one isn't a loss. There isn't some gap that isn't being filled. Like I said, we're stronger people. We can life better than you. Yes, I know life isn't a verb, but it somehow seems more appropriate than saying live. That's just what was in my heart.
And it's just as much of a religion, in my opinion, as other religions. It's on the opposite side of the dogmatic spectrum. But you require just as much faith to say that there is nothing. You have to believe that there's nothing. It's just because you can't see something with your eyes doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Ugh, you're one of those. Newsflash, genius. Not every atheist says there is no God. You know how many gods I believe in? Zero. Nada. Goose egg. Know why? Because your PR team has done a lousy job selling the product. It's the very fact that you insist on faith that keeps me from believing you. You say that just because you can't see something doesn't mean it doesn't exist, but I haven't been given a reason to think that it does exist. And if you want me to start thinking it's real, you're gonna have to take faith out of the equation. What's the difference between having faith and wishing, hoping, pretending? Because I honestly don't see one. It's more honest to reject religious claims than to believe them, because religions expect you to buy the car without test driving it first. And that sounds like a scam. Until next time, fellow space travelers, this is BionicDance saying don't run on automatic. Instead, please think. But not having some alleged undefined purpose in life foisted upon me by an invisible deity in whom I need to have faith to believe in him, her, it, or them. Emblem, oi. Okay, almost a blooper-free video. You know, Dewey, we wouldn't have to do this if I had more Patreon patrons. Just saying. Ignorance killed the cat. Curiosity was framed.